What's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to give you 5 steps to teach your kids about stocks. Today, let's do this. What's going on, guys? My name is Mike and this is Stocks for Dads, where I teach you how to build generational wealth for you and your family. Today we are going over the cool topic of teaching your kids about stocks and the stock market. So I'm going to give you 5 quick tips and your kid will be investing in no time. Step 1. Teach your child about money. Teach your child how money grows, what money is, and teach your child about savings. Understanding money and how savings and how money grows is fundamental for the investor. The easiest way to do that is by playing a game. Play this game and teach your child about savings and interest rates at the same time. Step 1. Play the banker and use the kid's allowance as the deposit. Step 2. Teach them that if they don't put their money in dad's bank, their money is going to stay the same. However, if they put their money in good old dad's bank, their money is going to grow by X amount, X cents, or X dollars each day or each week. Then teach them that their money is ready to be withdrawn anytime they need to. But the longer they leave their money in good old bank of dad, the larger their money is going to grow. Step 3. To aid in this process, give them ways to make more money throughout the house. They can get more money by doing chores or, give them tasks to do outside, something. Find a way, make a little chart and say if you do A, you get $1. If you do B, you get $5. Then go on down the list, come up with things for your child to do, come up with ways for your child to make money. Then if they want, take that extra money and put it in Bank of Dad so that they have more money in the bank, which would end up giving them larger returns in the end. By playing this game, you will teach your child how money works, how money grows, how banks work, all of the fundamental things that your child needs to understand before moving on to investments. Step 2. Next, give your child a financial goal. If your child likes toys or if your child is old enough and they're into fashion or something like that, set up a financial goal for them and become basically their free financial advisor. Use this in conjunction with number 1 and your child will be super motivated to save money and use the good old Bank of Dad. Without a goal from their standpoint, just saving money like that doesn't really serve a purpose. So if you give the child a purpose, a reason to save their money, they will be much more willing to learn and much more willing to play the game. Step 3. Introduce investing. The first thing that they're going to ask is, what is investing? All you have to do is teach your child that investing is like savings in a bank, but instead your money is used to buy a small piece of a company. To make it even better for your child, tell them that by buying 1 share of a company, they're actually becoming a very small owner of that company. They will be an owner. Then explain to them that as an owner of this company, if the company does well, their investment, their money goes up, but on the other hand, if the company doesn't do so well, then their money goes down. Keep it as simple as possible. If you're dealing with a younger child, maybe an elementary school or middle school child, you probably shouldn't go and throw around words like hedging, risk management, investment allocation. All of these things are going to make it more complicated for your child and they might actually lose interest in the end. However, if your child is a little bit older, don't be afraid to introduce more difficult concepts and dive a little bit deeper into investing. If you're starting off with a youngster, ask a child if they can name a company. They might not understand this concept at first, but if you slowly introduce them to companies that they know really well, they will be very surprised to know that they can actually become an owner of these big companies. Personally, when I introduced investing to my son when he was 7, I asked him to name off the companies that he knew, and they were big blue chip companies. He already knew what the companies were. They were like Coca-Cola, Sony. He was just going down this list of companies that he knew, and he was super surprised to know that he could actually become a small owner of those companies. That goes into step 4. Get your child to think. If your child can name off a company, ask them if they know how that company makes money. Does that company seem to do well or does it not? You don't have to show the child the stock chart, but just ask them. If they name off Coca-Cola, for example, ask the child, do you think Coca-Cola does well? How many people do you see drinking Coca-Cola every day? Do you see more people drinking Coca-Cola or do you see more people drinking Pepsi? These are the small questions you can ask your child to really get them to think and understand what companies they should invest in. While you're doing this, introduce blue chip stocks to your child. The ones that are safer, the ones that prove through time, the ones that have been doing well through the decades. Introduce these stocks to your child, and if they recognize any of them, ask the same questions. How does that company make money? How do you think the company is going going to do in the future. Now, if it's a younger child, they may just say, oh, they sell drinks, or oh, they do this. Do you think it's a good company? Yes, they may not understand fully, but if you're dealing with an older child, this is going to be a really good way to jog their brain and get them thinking about what companies they should invest in. Ultimately, if they invest in what they know, they invest in the blue chip stocks, and they invest in the dividend paying stocks on the long run, they're going to reduce their risk substantially, and they're going to have a much better time investing than, say, if they put all their money in Billy Bob's hot dogs. Number 5, start small and be consistent and grow huge. Explain that this is a long-term game. It's not going to be fast, it's not going to be short, and if you start small, your child will be much more comfortable with putting a smaller amount of money than maybe all of their allowance all at once. But as they take these small and consistent investments, they will see their money grow, and they will become more comfortable with putting maybe more money in to grow even more. Consistency is key on your part as well. As many children are not constantly thinking about the stock market, they're thinking about the next fad, the next music video, the next toy, they're thinking about many different things all at once. It's on you as the parent and you as their financial investor to try to sit maybe 1 or 2 days each month to sit down and talk about the investments. Go over the investments with them, show how their stocks did, how the companies grew, or maybe they didn't grow so much. If the company didn't grow or did grow, maybe look up an article and read with the child, tell the child why that stock did so well or didn't do so well. What I do to maintain consistency with my son is every time I get a paycheck, I set aside a small amount of money for him to invest, and then I tell him, Oliver, it's stock night, let's sit down and talk about this. Then he takes that small amount of money and he picks an investment. But before he hits the buy button, he comes to me and he tells me why. I ask him, why are you buying this stock? Is there a reason? It will become less of a I'm just hitting buttons and doing what dad tells me to do, and it will kind of get them to think about, man, why am I investing in this stock? I'm investing in this stock because I know it. I am investing in this stock because it performs well over time. Dad, look at the chart. It's done this well over the 5-year period. I think it's going to continue to do well. Slowly but surely, these answers are going to start coming out of your child, and at that point, it's all on them. You'll be super surprised to see how fast your child will grow. In the end, it's all about having fun. If your child isn't having fun, if it's not a game for them, it's going to become taxing, it's going to become something that they don't want to do, and that's exactly what we want not to happen. So go over this video over and over again, play games with your child, get them to invest, and keep it as simple as possible. Show them how growth works. Show them that the stock market in general grows more than savings accounts. Although savings accounts are nice, the stock market tends to outperform savings accounts by like 5, 6-fold, 7-fold, and even sometimes even 10-fold. If you guys want a more in-depth guide for teaching your children about stocks, check out my book on Amazon called Stocks for Kids. It's written by me and my son Oliver. I think he was 8 or 9 when I wrote it at the time. There are pictures in there, and a lot of the concepts are very easy for children his age to understand. I will put a description and link below. I guess this is tip number 6, but as a final tip for you guys, I suggest using a free trading platform like Robinhood for your child. I know I push Robinhood a lot on this channel, but free trading apps like Robinhood take all the math out of the equation and math out of the problem for your child. If you're trading on a platform that, say, requires a child to pay $9 every time they buy or sell, the child is going to have to think, oh, I have to make an extra $18 on top of this investment before it actually becomes anything, before it actually grows. So to take all of that out of the picture and make trading as easy as possible, use an app like Robinhood. I think there are some other ones called like M1 or something like that. I will put those links in the bottom below. If you guys have any tips for teaching stocks to your children that I didn't mention in this video, drop it in the comment below. And if you like this video, hit the link button and consider subscribing. I'll see you next time. Peace.